Trailblazer behind the scenes. After 4 seasons on the hit show, Suzanne asked for equal pay with her co-star John Ritter, a move that was definitely ahead of its time.
For them to fire me for asking for a raise, I think at the time when I was doing Three's Company, all the men were making a minimum of 10 times more than me, including John Ritter. He's great, but so is Chrissy Snow.
You can't go out like that. Take your clothes off first.
In 1981, Suzanne was stunned she was fired for demanding equal pay, particularly because she drew in the highest ratings of any woman at the time.
I will always feel that I was right to ask to be paid what they were paying the men. I think women in television benefited as a result of that. Who knew Chrissy Snow would do that? The first feminist.
While the battle has become a vital part of her legacy, at the time of her firing, leaving the show was painful. She says the cast turned on her after the salary dispute.
For it to end like that with nobody talking to me. For a year, I was in absolute funk.
I couldn't get a job in television.
But that all changed when Suzanne reinvented herself as an entrepreneur with a little help from her beloved husband, Alan Hamill, as she told us just this past April.
He said, "We're going to make this work for us." He said, starting with, we're never working for anyone ever again. Shortly after that, the Thigh Master dropped in our laps.
I used to do aerobics till I dropped. Then I found Thigh Master.
After this commercial for the fitness device debuted, Suzanne says they sold $10 million right out of the gate. Over the years, Suzanne has made around $300 million in Thigh Master sales.
Hi, Suzanne. You're looking great.
While Suzanne continued to thrive in her post-Three's Company life, she did have one big regret, that she waited decades to bury the hatchet with her co-stars. In 2003, John Ritter reached out to Suzanne to reconcile. They spoke about wanting to work together again, but John tragically died of a heart ailment a month later.
I wasted a lot of years, so did he. And we both realized that when we finally talked, because we were so close.
In 2012, Suzanne reunited with Joyce for the first time in over 30 years after a decades-long feud when she came on Suzanne's YouTube talk show.
You could cut the air with a knife.
I'm very overwhelmed with emotion.
Thank you for creating this opportunity.
So she comes out, and it was so emotional. Here I'm looking at someone who I spent such a moment in time with. I mean, it was like, what a waste.
Now, thankfully, Suzanne and her Three's Company co-stars found closure with each other. Well, now let's get to our Anne Hathaway exclusive. Anne is the face of the Versace Icons collection, and she and Donatella just hosted the inaugural Versace Icons dinner in New York, and that's where Access guest correspondent Xana Roberts-Rossi took Anne on a fashion flashback, Versace themed, of course.
Tell me about this amazing dress.
I told you what I felt, and you said, okay, cool, and then you enhanced it by a lot and made it long. I was like, I thought this was something kind of short, and Donatella was like, okay, but this. And I saw it, I'm like, well, that's kind of undeniable.
Making a statement at this year's Met Gala, Anne looked stunning in a white tweed Versace gown, complete with cutouts and the brand's signature safety pin accents.
How are we getting out of this?
It's so ingenious. The thing about wearing a Versace couture piece is the way you're held in it.
Right.
It's really an enjoyable experience, and you just feel very supported in it.
Suzanne Somers and her husband, Alan, sharing a red carpet kiss. The two were inseparable over their 55-year relationship, 46 of which they were married for. And we saw firsthand just how genuine and pure their love for each other was.
This is incredible. Mario, look how they go. Look at Suzanne in the tub. Alan comes dancing over. I don't know who's taking this video, but there's some hot stuff going on. This is the way. Look,
Yes! The home fires never cooled for Suzanne and Alan, proving that romance has no age limit.
What we are experiencing now is a love affair like I've never had.
The two first met in 1968 when Suzanne was a prize model on a game show that Alan hosted. In 2017, they told Natalie Morales and me about their memorable first date.
He invited me out. I went to his hotel room, the first date.
Don't judge.
I know.
No judging.
I had never done it before. And I walk into his hotel room, and it's a Japanese suite, and he said, it's a Japanese suite. You have to take your shoes off. And I said, what else do you have to take off?
They married in 1977 in what became one of Hollywood's longest-lasting marriages. In 2020, Zuri got their love secrets.
What's your favorite time of day to get frisky? Is it morning, noon, or night?
Yes.
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 All of the above.
We never fight.
No.
Never fight?
No. We did for the first 10 years.
Yeah, the first
young
10
and
years
immature.
Right, you got
And we were blending families.
Yeah.
I had a baby and he had 2 kids. But we never fight.
No.
What would be your secret to everlasting love?
Well, we give each other a lot of attention. Every morning, he brings me the perfect cup of coffee. Start with coffee, and at the end of the day, at 5 o'clock,
Okay.
we meet at Big Al's bar.
Ooh.
We've been doing that for the last 5 years, and we have a date. And that date is tequila. We dance a lot. It's very romantic.
Before we start, I have to do a little hair sniffing.
The tequila's kicking in. And these two knew each other like a book. So during the pandemic, I put Suzanne and Alan to the test with the eyes closed relationship game. Who was the first to apologize?
Oh, me.
Who was the first one to say, I love you?
Me.
Aw. Do you remember when it was in the moment?
We were in Sausalito,
Yeah.
and I said, can I tell you something? And he said, sure. And I said, you won't be mad at me? That's how shy I was. He goes, no. I said, I love you.
And then I said, I love you.
Ugh, it breaks your heart, but they were so lucky to have had each other. All right, now let's go ahead and get to Vanna White. She has been turning.
He cheated on her with another celebrity. Then Suzanne Somers' final hours.
We didn't know if she was alive or not. And then when I kissed her, she responded.
Her son's only interview alongside the TV legend's longtime love.
She fought and fought and fought.
Plus, making moves. How Travis Kelce just spent millions to help protect his relationship with Taylor Swift.
It's just a lot of a lot.
And
I said, you know, that's a cool grill. I knew that much.
how Cher courted her man 40 years younger. Their new project together.
If this doesn't work out, it's not going to be good for the relationship.
ET starts now.
All right.
News on Britney Spears after her new memoir, Shockers. Okay, let's move on now to the tributes pouring in for Suzanne Somers, who passed away last Sunday. Kevin Frazier spoke to her widower, Alan, and son Bruce, less than 48 hours after Suzanne left us. The two most important men in her life opened up about her legacy, the darkest days of her cancer battle, and Suzanne's last moments.
I lost half of me. We were one. I lost half of me. Like that.
Alan and I had a very romantic relationship. It was always so incredibly passionate.
She fought and fought and fought.
What were her final words?
She wasn't talking at the end. The last couple of days, she stopped eating, she stopped talking, wouldn't take her medicine. And we didn't know if she was alive or not. And I kept taking her blood pressure, but she wouldn't respond. And then when I kissed her, she responded, kissing me back. And it looked like she was going to make it. And then it just overwhelmed her. We knew this day would come, but we thought it would be me, because I'm 10 years older than Suzanne. I do everything Dr. Somers tells me to do. For the past 42 years, we have not spent even 1 hour apart.
They were like this. They were inseparable, and I joked that they were functionally codependent.
While Suzanne projected an image of health and perfection, in reality, she was often struggling.
She had cancer every decade from her 20s. She started with a couple of hyperplasias on her uterus. Then in the 30s, she had a tumor removed from her back. In her 40s, she lost her uterus. In her 50s, she had a lumpectomy on her right breast.
For 1 minute, I entertained the idea of I could die. I had a big tumor. I could die.
In her 60s, she had a cancer in her left breast that she healed herself. And then in her 70s, she fell down, broke her neck, and had hydrocephalus. It's called water on the brain. It's quite dangerous. So she's had cancer all her life.
Alan and Bruce also showed me the cake they got for Suzanne's birthday. She would have turned 77 Monday.
It's kind of a secret. People don't know my mother had a healthy appetite.
Suzanne loved cake. Loved cake.
My heart breaks for Alan tremendously and her entire family.
We also just spoke with Tony Dovolani, Suzanne's partner on Dancing with the Stars in 2015.
Come and knock on my door. She kind of taught me English through her show.
If you're lucky, if you're really lucky, you have one major television hit in your life.
Suzanne debuted as Chrissy on Three's Company in 1977 to record ratings.
I loved being the dumb blonde. I loved playing that character.
The series would go on for 8 seasons, but in season 5, Suzanne, who made $30,000 per episode, asked for a raise to $150,000 an episode.
So we went in to renegotiate in year 6 because I had to. My contract was up. And they fired me. And they fired me for asking to be paid commensurate with the men. My leaving created 2 camps. You were either with me or against me.
That was the saddest part, is that there is no relationship left between myself and the entire Three's Company, and I feel very badly about that.
You decided to take a break.
I did.
Why?
I did. I have to get up.
Oh, okay.
Joyce DeWitt didn't speak to Suzanne for 30 years after the series ended, but the two hugged it out on Suzanne's online talk show in 2012. Monday morning, Joyce sent love to Suzanne's family, writing, "I'm sure Suzanne was greeted by angels into the loving wisdom waiting for all of us on the other side." Suzanne's step-by-step husband, Patrick Duffy, paid tribute, saying, "She became my dear friend on the first day we met, and it never faltered."
You've come a long way since Bobby Ewing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Suzanne reinvented herself in the 90s.
I used to do aerobics till I dropped. Then I found Thigh Master.
I pitched the Thigh Master, and we stopped counting at 10 million units.
Suzanne rebranded herself as a fitness expert, authoring more than 25 books and building an empire.
It was originally devised to be an upper body, you know, and like that. And when the inventor brought it to us, I said, "Does it work for the inner thighs?" He goes, "Yeah, but everybody's into the upper body." I said, "Not women."
Not women.
It really works. It's like, wow. This will be my epitaph. I reinvented quite a while ago, and I actually think of myself as a writer, lecturer, women's health advocate, champion of women.
The way I want to remember her and the way the first thought in my head is her smile. It's literally her smile and the way she affected everybody around her.
And you have
Okay, now to loving memories from Suzanne Somers' granddaughter.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks since Suzanne passed, and her husband of 46 years, Alan Hamill, has been leaning into family to help him through it. And that includes 2 of their 6 grandchildren, Camellia and Violet, who Kit sat down with in this exclusive interview.
First off, how's your granddad? How's Alan doing?
He's better than we expected. Yeah. I think it's been helpful for him to be surrounded by family. Until the moment she died, he was sitting in bed with her, talking for hours, and she wasn't.
About their life.
She couldn't respond verbally, but I know she heard, and I think for him it was beautiful because she had lost a lot of her mobility, and he was still like kissing her, and she would kiss back. And I think for him it's beautiful.
Violet and Camellia shared some touching stories of Suzanne, their grandmother, who they call Zanny.
What were the last things you guys said to her?
I wrote my grandmother a letter the day before she passed, and in it I asked her to visit me as a yellow butterfly. Because you always see a monarch, you always see an orange butterfly. I was like, Zanny, don't be basic. Like, come on, you know, I gotta know it's you. So the day that I went to visit after she had passed, I walked out of the house and there was just this museum level black and yellow butterfly. And then I came back, and again, I didn't know it was her because I was expecting plain butterfly. The second I came back into the driveway, a plain yellow butterfly flew by. And I know she was saying, okay, that's what you want. Okay, here you go, I'm here.
Was there anything she always said to your girls?
If you were good at something, in her mind, you were the best. Yes. So, like when my dad was biking, he was better than Lance Armstrong.
100%.
And I grew up doing musical theater. We were all showing her a video of Lady Gaga, and she looked at me and she said, "You're better." And I said, "I'm not. I'm just not." But she so believed it. Yeah.
Gift giving was Suzanne's love language. Camellia and Violet were both wearing tokens of their Zanny's love.
I'm wearing my little, these were, she told me it's the first piece of jewelry she bought after Three's Company. And they're these little Elsa Peretti, little bean drops. And I said, I never want to take it off. And she said, I hope you don't. And so, since she passed especially, I've been feeling her through it.
Such beautiful girls, and Suzanne's legacy definitely lives on through them.
That is so true.